every Monday that we come to the market. This is why we make our trip up to Melbourne from Geelong, and it's an absolute integral and vital part of what we do. Everyone that we serve deserves good, and that's exactly what we provide.
So Andrew starts off the week. Well, first he'd go to the market on a Monday, get all the produce. They'd come back here. He'd arrive about 7:30. We'd get it unpacked. We set up for the week. We do all the prep work.
On Tuesday and Wednesday, we're running for about 17 or 18 hours because I'll get in anywhere from 10 p.m. till midnight, depending on how I've slept the afternoon before. That's on a Monday night. And then I'll run until about 10 a.m, 11 a.m, and Caroline and the team will come in about 8 a.m, and they run until about 4 or thereabouts. And then we do it all again on the Tuesday night for Wednesday morning, and we'll run even later till about 5:30, 6 o'clock. So we're running about 18, 19 hours on that day.
And really there's been a couple of occasions where I've been in here working late at night doing a few things, and Andrew walks in for the morning shift as I'm finishing off mine, and I say to him, "What are you doing here at this hour?"
Sometimes it's difficulty sleeping. I don't have trouble going to sleep, but I wake up in excitement to get back to work.
Boys,
Yeah.
how things?
Yeah, good.
You're fast into it, aren't you?
It started with Martin having an idea, and his idea was to have this type of concept with good food out of a drive-through facility that was born from his previous work in the charity field, and we happened to connect picking our kids up from school actually, and we're old schoolmates. We just hadn't seen each other in a few years, and we just thought we'd go out for dinner. And amazingly, on my little tour up to Northern Australia, in my head I had charity and cooking. I didn't know how to cook, and I did feel like I wanted to give back. I wanted to work for a charity. At the dinner, Marty told me all about the idea, and I just said, "I am your cook."
I was actually going to think of that. At the time, we didn't sort of realise it was an idea, and I wasn't really even thinking it was going to go anywhere. But Andrew was the one that pushed it. He was the one that said, "No, this is what we're doing," and sort of forced me into a corner to keep going. And every week he'd ring me and say, "How far are we on? How far?" And this went on for 12 months. A phone call every week saying, "Where are we at? How are we?"
Phone call every night.
And so it was, that was it. And I sort of, like I said, wasn't that, not interested. I thought it was a great idea, but I was never going to do it. And then, but with Andrew saying we're doing it, we sort of fell into it. And then as we went on, and as it started to develop, we realised that people did need love. And the love was coming through the food, and they wanted to talk to us, and they wanted to be a part of our lives. They wanted to know, what are we doing? And so over the years it has generated from that. Yeah, but we certainly didn't expect it to end up where it's ended up now. The mission of the Bay Leaf really came, it sort of developed over time, but it really ended up on the fact that we wanted to help people and guide their life outside of the food. So the food is a way, it's a gateway give to people and it's going to help them. It's healthy food, it's fruit and vegetables in a meal. But then they wanted to talk to us about why they were coming, right? And I suppose that's where it's developed, that's where our mission's developed in. We wanted to become like family to the people that we help. If they had a problem, it became our problem and we wanted to help solve it, and we wanted to do it in a real loving and generous manner. How's your week been? How's your holiday? I haven't seen you since. Was it really? Fresh from And we always take our Christian beliefs and to say, look, we're not going to judge and we're going to love unconditionally, and we really implement that, and that has good fruit for us. And so it works the way we do it. And Andrew's always in the kitchen and I'm more out the back talking to the people. But we always debrief twice a week on what we're doing and how we're doing it. And he pulls me up and say, well, maybe you should, do this. And I pull him up and say, maybe. So it's a really good working relationship, and we've got a great team here. Everyone's positive, all the staff, the volunteers, everyone's really positive. And that way, when people come here, the positivity flows out the building. And people come and say, look, there's a really good spirit here, it's alive and happy, and we try and keep that going. And that's really the foundation of the charity.
My name is Mel. I'm a mum of 4, and I started connecting in with Bayleaf family when things were getting a bit tough with us. We have obviously 4 children, and our eldest child has a severe complex disability. So with that, we are constantly in and out of hospital, and emergencies happen quite often, which obviously leaves a lot less time to organise yourself. And also financially, it takes a big impact on, trying to sustain a workplace for myself, working around all these appointments and medical emergencies. So Bayleaf assists us, supports us hugely every week. So every week we can come here for really fresh food, beautiful produce. They do a wonderful job, put hours and hours of work into cooking up these meals for us to make our life, so much easier. The love, the care they show really comes across with what they produce and what they've really developed here with the Bayleaf team. We're very, very grateful for everything that they've done for us and our family.
Yeah, so when we first started the Bayleaf, we were looking at just providing a meal to a family. That was the whole idea. And then after, probably 6 to 12 months, I went to Andrew and we spoke about the fruit and veg component of it. And I said to him about going back to the market, which he was very reluctant to do. He gave me a big no. And usually with Andrew, when you ask him something, it's always probably a no, but 20 minutes later, he's like, yep, he's into it. And then it's a full-on yes.
It's 3:05 in the morning. We're about to go and sign in at the front office. We'll see if she works for us. There we go. The forklifts are going everywhere. All right, and we also get donations from Vitor. We get 6 mandarins a week that donate to the Bayleaf. They've been fantastic. And later this morning, you'll see at the warehouse we're going to go to, we'll pick up 6 grapes that Vitor also donate. The produce that we buy for the charity, on top of the stuff that we cook, we could self-promote ourselves and say that we are the very good cooks and our food's amazing. I'll leave that up to the clients. They can talk to they can let you know whether our food's good or not. I believe it's pretty good, but I can tell you our produce is fantastic. I know the fruit that I'm buying. I know how much it costs. It's not cheap, and I know that our clients come into our little store that's out the back of the kitchen here our little holding room, and they walk into our little shop, and with all of the beautiful colours and all of the beautiful choice that they've got, and they can just load up their box with whatever they want and know that there's an abundance there for them to take home to their family. It's a feel-good scenario. You know that if you get something that tastes good and it's fresh and it's part of and it's healthy and it's been given for free and there's no judgment, it makes you feel good. We want our clients to feel good receiving the product as well as eating it. Once we've got it all collated, once we've got it all bought, once this thing's full, the electric buggy, we'll go and put it at Geelong Citrus Packers, and they collate our orders and they take it back on a truck back to Geelong, and they do it for free, which is fantastic. I think I'm going to have to do about 3 loads to Geelong Citrus Packers because our orders are getting bigger every single week because we're helping more and more clients every week.
It's our big day of the week where we do most of our families come in for a meal and pick up their box of fruit and veg. They're doing lots of prep in the kitchen now. They'll be cutting watermelon. They'll be packing the potatoes. Andrew's making some curry this morning, which we're going to pack up. Plenty of volunteers doing lots of different things. Kaz is making some protein balls. So we'll make a couple of thousand protein balls this morning and plenty of volunteers helping out.
Caroline and I, we do most of the cooking, Martin's sister, and we put a bit of pressure on each other without talking in that way, just making sure the quality's up. If there's something that's not right, we'll say it, we'll fix it, or we might not even serve it. But what we want to make sure is that everything that comes out of this kitchen, we really enjoy eating. I mean, we take the food home ourselves. And if we don't like eating it ourselves, we don't want to serve it. So we need to make sure that if the family is being asked by the front team to go home and enjoy this meal together, that means the kitchen team needs to get the food right, and we have to get it as perfect as we possibly can, cooking in the numbers that we are. I think at the moment we might be cooking for about 450, 500 people per week, and there's not a whole lot of us. And there's a fair bit of pressure in the kitchen, not only to get the volume, but first and foremost is to get the quality right. And if the family is being asked to sit around the table where maybe they normally wouldn't, so that they can converse about what happened during the day and have a good family meal, the food's got to be right.
Yeah.
So we absolutely see it as vital that we get the food absolutely as right as we possibly can.
So we have lots of volunteers coming to the Bayleaf and help out. A lot of the kitchen staff in there at the moment, cooking away. Most of them are volunteers. And one of the things that they do is we make sure that when they come in, that they're positive. We're a positive organisation. People coming to receive stuff from us need to feel that positivity. And so we want to make sure that any volunteer comes in, we make sure that they are loved and they are looked after and they feel good. And that way they're positive. And then they can reflect that not only in their own life, but in the clients that might pass through.
We want to make sure that we give them as much gratitude as we possibly can. And I say gratitude by the way we are and how the people are treated when they come in. And also we offer all of our volunteers to take some fruit and to take a little bit of our cooked food home as well.
And look, one of the things is, a lot of our volunteers are going through a tough time themselves, and many of our volunteers are previous clients. And once they've recovered, they say to us, look, I really appreciate what you did for us. Could I come and help you? Could I be a part of what you did, because I felt what you did helped me so much. I think that's a real reflection on what we do. We make sure that we're helping them, and then they turn around later on when they've recovered and they help us. And then that's what we're trying to build. how we decide that people will come and get our service, we have a referral only service. So a referral means that there's lots of healthcare professionals here in Geelong. They'll reach out to us and contact us and say, look, we've got a family, they've either got a sickness or there's something happened. There's lots of different reasons that people would come. So we take that referral and we'll take the person on, and then we decide on how long they might need our help for. Sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not, but we try not to judge when people come. You have to make an assessment, but we always, it doesn't matter who comes to our door, we try and help them. And we try and treat them really well and make sure they're looked after, and then we try and recover them. So one thing we're just implementing in the last few months is when you come here and you receive, at some stage you'll recover. We don't want you to leave our family. We want you to become a giver. So you can become a volunteer or you can help out. We don't want people to lose connection with us. So they have to go from someone that receives to someone that gives. And it is in giving which we receive. And so the destination for all these people is to become givers. And that's our job, is to sort of transform them into a giving.
Part of the things that I love about Bayleaf and working or volunteering my time here is the energy that both Andrew and Martin put into the everyday happenings, the cooking, the chatting to people, the opening of their arms to the Geelong community and those that might not have the opportunity to feel that love and that kindness. I met a mum who was going through some pretty severe cancer treatment because her cancer had returned. So she was in dire straits, but she had a young family. She had a little 2-year-old toddler and a 15-year-old young man who has autism. So she was so unwell after her treatment, she often couldn't get out of bed. So what Bayleaf offered for her was some meals where she didn't have to be worried about getting out of bed to cook a meal, to prepare a meal. It was already there, and it was just that care that she said she couldn't have kept going without. She may have had to give up her treatment, and so Bayleaf Kitchen had provided that care for her with those meals so that she could look after her family but also continue her cancer treatment. And that to me is something that you don't always see provided by other organisations. It's that care in knowing that person and knowing how much need they had. Spiritually, I think she found that support at Bayleaf as well, and certainly emotionally she found that support, that she wasn't having to try and find a way to go through her treatment and to look after her children.
And the whole thing, the whole goal of the whole program is to let people feel the love of Christ that we feel, let them feel it, to experience it, to see if they like it. Because often they'll say to us, why are you guys so positive, and where's all this coming from, and where's the love? And that really is the essence of what we do. If we show the love of Christ, let the light shine and let people see it. We don't have to tell them what they have to do, what they don't. It's up to them to decide, but we are a beacon of information of God to say, love looks like this. And that really is what we want to install in all of our clients, is to show them what it looks like, for them to make their own judgment as to whether they like it or not.
Yeah, all I can say is that reconnecting with Marty, I asked him many times, why are you like this? Why are you helping me? Why? How does this come about? How can you continue to help and help? And then I'd go and volunteer with him at a different charity where we volunteered in a previous life to this. And I said, how did you get like this? How do you be like this? I've never seen this before. He said, because Jesus is here. And I said, well, I want that. I probably don't quite have it yet, but I'm certainly on the path. And we'd like, as Marty was just saying, we need our clients to see the joy that we have in our hearts because of God. Even though Martin's going through a few struggles at home with building an extension on his house and trying to still run the bay leaf and put time in here. And he's got 4 kids and he's running around like a headless chook. But he still maintains the joy. He does it because of one reason, because he has God. And that's where I'm heading. And that's what we need our clients to see, because when the question comes, and the question does come, now it's coming to me as well. Why are you like this? Why do you help us? Why do you help us in such a way? Well, it's because we have God right here.